mind right now as far as keeping a balance, and what are you focusing on to make that happen?
Well, really just trying to take 1 week at a time. You can't do anything about the first 7. We're all locked up with 3 to go. So I think anybody would like to be in this position. So happy to be in the game, and hopefully we can stay in it. And it comes down to the end.
Questions for either Michael or Matt? Holly Kane, go ahead.
Well, I mean, we hope that it will, but we don't know that it will. Anything can happen here in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean, it's been a busy couple weeks. We tested Texas last week, and of course we're here this weekend. So it's a lot going on, and it's always a balance, to be at the track testing and also at the same time getting ready to go to Texas and get your Phoenix stuff done as well. So it's a busy 3 weeks. Not a lot of turnaround time with traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast and back. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to all 3 races. I think they've all been good tracks for us. So hopefully we can go and perform and run up front and try to race them for it.
Chris, go ahead.
Chris Green, South Bay News here. We heard from Trevor some of the challenges he finds and why he likes this track so much. Talk about your experience with this track. What's the most challenging part, and what do you like the most about it?
Well, I like everything about it. To me, it feels a lot different today than it did last fall. I don't know if it feels like something changed, like the track got a lot more coarse for some reason or wore out. So I don't know if they blew it with air tighten or if something happened to it. But it seems like it's really aged a lot. We only come here once a year, so that's typically good for racing. So I like the track. I like how you can really change your line and change the balance of your car a lot. I think it's a really racy track. So I like everything about the track.
Dougie, go ahead.
There is no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees in racing. You just never know what's going to happen. But I feel good about the things that we've done so far. I feel good about the 3 tracks coming up. I feel really confident in my race team, our organization, and what we got in front of us. So I'm looking forward to it. It's you can sit and worry about things, or you can sit and daydream about things. You can do all that, and then it just passes you by before you know it. So I'm enjoying it. We're working hard at it, and we're gonna give it all we got. And at the end of the race here, hopefully that's enough. And if it's not, we're gonna know that we did everything we could this year. And no matter what happens the last 3 weeks, it's been just been an incredible year. It's been really magical, really. So hopefully we can finish it off for sure. That's our goal. Clint will get that. Well, I mean, I think rivals can be friendly. I mean, I think anybody would want to be a rival to Jimmie. I mean, and it's hard for anybody to argue that he and that team are the best. I mean, he's won 5 straight. Nobody's ever done anything even close to that. I think he's won like 600 races. I mean, so I mean, yeah, if you want to say that you're a rival, I mean, yeah, 600 is a lot. I mean, I think that's a great thing. I mean, who wouldn't want to be compared to that and still be in a game? So, like I say, hopefully when we get down here, we're still in it, and hopefully nothing happens and we can race for it.
Matt, Michael, thank you. Best of luck the next couple days.
We're searching around using every inch of this racetrack. It's been a lot of fun driving, racing, and I think we're going to see more of that as we get into the race weekend down here. So it's been a lot of fun. We're already at the top of the racetrack with just a few cars at a test session. That's a great sign.
Jimmie, let's keep going with you. You had said this was going to be a dogfight. Obviously, the guy sitting next to you is creeping up on you. What are you focused on the next couple weeks as far as things you're keying in to leave here with your 6th championship in 2 weeks?
Well, if it's worrying about Jeff or the 20, the only way we're going to take care of our job and become champions is by winning races and running in that top 3 at worst. And you can't. We're a good example of it. Last week, went to one of our better racetracks and finished 5th, and Matt rose to the occasion, finished 2nd. Jeff won the race. So with that mindset, you have to go every week and focus on winning. So in some respects, it makes it a little easier because it's just one goal, one mindset. Be as fast as you can, do all that you can do. Things will take care of itself from there.
And Jeff, you obviously your win kind of changed things up a little bit. What's your goal the next couple days in the next 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, I think, similar, we just, I feel like, maybe we creep, but we're still a good distance from Matt and from Jimmie, and so all we can do is go out there and win races as well to try to catch those guys. And just like this past weekend, you win the race and Matt's second and Jimmie's fifth, so that's why those guys are in the position that they're in. And we're just trying to do our best to keep it interesting. We would love to be able to get down here to Homestead and just sort of have a chance at it. That's what you hope for every year, is to come to Homestead and have a chance at winning a championship. And I mean, I'm excited about Texas. I'm excited about this race, and then Phoenix is sort of an unknown for us, and so we'll see what happens. We'll see. We're just going to take it week to week and go do our jobs the best we can. But I'm real proud of the team. They've been really stepping up and doing a great job. We've been hanging with these guys, and it was certainly a great momentum booster to go get that win this past weekend.
A question for actually either of you. Clint was in here a minute ago, and he said,
Don't believe a thing he
I was
says.
just say, who knows what he said?
he actually had a good point. He said it used to be you run in the top 10 week in, week out, you win a championship. Now that he thought the bar had been raised, and it needs to be more of a top 5 or a top 2 or 3. Do you guys agree that this year's a little different and that the bar's higher?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what the required finishing average needs to be until the season's over. And one year, Jeff and I think he was like a 5.0 and I was a 4.8 to win the championship. So, there are examples in years past where you had to be on your game. But when I think of my first championship, I think we crashed in 2 races and still was let back in due to others making mistakes. So when we're in Chicago, we're always asked the question, and none of us know. We assume it's going to take an amazing finishing average to win it, but you don't know until you get to the end. And with 3 to go, this looks like one of those years where, top 5s, top 5 wasn't the ideal position for me to be in last week, and I needed to be top 3, and I ended up top 5. So this year is skewing that direction, I believe.
Jeff, kind of a similar question. Is this going to be a year where there are no mulligans?
Some years there are, some years there aren't. The year that Jimmie was talking about, I think that was 2007. We put together a heck of a stream of consistent finishes and put, I think, 1 or 2 wins together. And Jimmie, I think, had one problem, but he then just dominated and won, like the next 3 or something. So, you never know what it's going to take other than accumulating the most points. And it's just whatever that takes. And it's amazing how your competitors push you to step up your game when those final 10 races come. And that's what I see between Matt and Jimmie. And I mean, Jimmie's been pushing me to step up my game ever since he came to Hendrick Motorsports, which some days I'm appreciative of that, most days. But for us, I mean, we're just we came into this thing thankful to be in it, and I think that we were planning on going to those 10 races and just doing everything we can to step up our game and try to either get ready for next year or now that we're in it, try to put strong finishes together, and it's been working out for us. I mean, I see the places where we've come up short, and these guys have just been rock solid. But there's 3 big races coming up, and like I said, week to week.
Let's go ahead and start with Holly, then go to Chris afterward.
Yeah, for me, I mean, every racetrack we go to has a feeling with it. And the fact we only race here once a year, there's always a certain kind of, anxiety, pit in your stomach, whatever it is when you step off the plane at Tamiami and come on south and come on over here. So pulling in, that feeling's there on the track. I am aware of the track and the significance of what happens here. You drive down the front stretch, and that yellow on the inside, I think it's still there kind of from last year. It looks very familiar, and I'm still hungry from what took place last year. Sitting in here, I was just, before you made asked your question, I guess we have the driver's meeting in here, and it's so dang packed, we can't hardly get through that door to come in. So it is nice to be here and test and kind of feel the vibe and remind yourself of what happens, because it's a stressful weekend when you get here.
You know, with testing this year, it is a little bit different for us. I feel like we're really well prepared. Texas is a good track. We just tested there last week. This has been an excellent track for us in recent years, and you know, now getting a chance to test here, that to me is the biggest change and difference that I've seen from past years, is that we get some data and get some a good feel for when we come back here. But this is a special place, and you know, normally we just show up here for the race, and we're always so shocked at how little grip there is, and what line is fast for qualifying or for the race. And you know, this is a nice little warm up for us to come down here, and you know, hope that you're in position to go. I love this track. I love searching around the racetrack. You can run so many different grooves, and I love how the tires fall off, the speeds fall off. It's a fun racetrack to end the season with.
Jeff, last year you finally got that first win here at Homestead. You won the boat right over there. Talk about what that meant to you personally. Now, there's, I think, only one other track on the whole series. You haven't won it.
Yeah, as long as they stop putting new tracks on the schedule, we might have a shot at that one. But yeah, you know, when I think of this track, I think of so many transformations. You know, from when I first came here and it was shaped like Indy, to then being an oval but very flat, and then now the banking, and you know, won here in the Nationwide car, and thought that was a big accomplishment because I really struggled with this track with the Cup car. But I feel like, you know, we really have been making gains here the last few years. So last year was certainly very rewarding. You know, to not just because of the stats and trying to get all those wins. It's just a track that challenges you, and you want to go and do your best at that track, and you only come here once, and so it was just icing on the cake to do it at a track that we had never won at before. And of course, when you start thinking there's only one left, you know, then it does build a little bit of anxiety when you go to that one track that's left, which is Kentucky now.
Jimmie, you've got a multi-time champion yourself breathing down your neck. Do you feel any anxiety at all or any pressure from that?
Yeah, I mean, the chase, you can't help but deal with pressure, and as things are unfolding here at the end, you know, we're tied with Matt, and then Jeff is there in striking distance if we have any troubles. I'm not sure how far back the 29 is or the 18. Okay. So it's still close, and that's the thing. This time of the year, if you stop and think about where you're at and who you're racing, you can freak yourself out pretty quick. And luckily, I'm not that smart, so I don't spend a lot of time thinking, and I just focus and look forward because there's a lot going on right now.
Joe, go ahead.
Joe Costello, WFO Radio, for Jeff and Jimmie. Kind of on the atmosphere being down here in South Florida, Homestead Miami Speedway has really been cultivating the championship track atmosphere. Jimmie obviously celebrated 5 times. Miami as a city, kind of a championship city, especially with what's going on in the NBA right now with LeBron James. Just seems like this community really appreciates that high-level star power. Both of you in NASCAR with team high-level star power. What's it like to win here, to win championship here, and Jeff last year to win a race here in Miami?
You know, Miami has you know, a lot going on down here, from a place where people want to come and hang out and have fun. Doesn't matter, you know, if they're a celebrity or a sports athlete or whatever. The South Beach has its own world and atmosphere that takes place. It's fun to win here and then go over there and have fun Sunday evening, which leads to a very difficult Monday morning, by the way. But you know, the area is great. I think it's a great place to celebrate. You know, I think where we are here in Homestead, it's a challenge sometimes to get people to, you know, jump in the car and head on over here and come sit in the stands, and I would really want to encourage them to do that, because as Jeff pointed out in some earlier comments, this is a racy track, and it's a lot of fun to race on. We put on a great show, and our champion will be crowned here once again. I don't think this is, with 3 left and as tight as it is, no one's going to have a cakewalk to the end. It's going to be an awesome weekend down here for the championship. So star power for sure in the area. I think the area is used to it. If we can just get some more people over here to come check it out, that would be really cool.
Quick follow-up, what do you think of John Force winning the 16th championship? I know you follow that.
You know, I miss that, but that's awesome. I've always been a big fan of John's, and amazing that he's still doing it at that level, and with the intensity that he brings, that's certainly never gone away. So that's fantastic. Thank you for letting me know.
Let's go with 2 more questions. Let these guys get back to work. Dougie, go ahead.
Jimmie, next 3 tracks, how do they stack up for you?
I think good.
There were 10 good tracks for him, starting in Chicago.
Very true. And I feel good. We've tested it, Texas, Jeff said, and then here, and then Phoenix. Phoenix is the one that I probably have a little concern for. Based on last year's results, went there and had a decent day going, but blew a right front tire. In the spring, we seemed to get things on track and ended up second with a nice run over there. So I feel good, but you know, it's week by week, and then as you get to this point and even a little further, it's kind of day by day, just managing all the thoughts that come along and trying to make sure you and your team. A lot of people just think of what we do, but you think of the guys bolting these cars together and the engines, pit stops. There's a lot going on and a lot of pressure put on a lot of positions, and it's how the team handles that as well. So it'll be interesting going down the stretch.
Final question. Anyone? Holly Kane, of course.
For either of you, obviously as the weeks tick down, outside forces are going to want there to be a rivalry, they're going to want there to be fierce mind games, they're going to want all sorts of things to kind of help build up to this moment. And you guys are friends. Matt's kind of a laid-back guy who was in here earlier and said, well, can't you have a friend about it? Doesn't have to be crazy. Just your thoughts on anticipating, because you know that's going to happen.
Thanks. I mean, I think the competition and the heated battle and natural rivalry that exists on the racetrack as competitors, I think hopefully that will speak for itself in just the drama that racing creates on its own. You just can't predict it. You can do your best to execute and plan for things, but you just have no idea how it's going to turn out. So, I mean, I obviously selfishly hope that there's a third party in this mix, you know, which would I think create some fun and excitement for our team, but also for the sport. But either way, I think that Jimmie and Matt are going to put on a heck of a race. But from a standpoint of you know, creating drama off the track, you know, you can't do that. You know, and do it in a fake way. It has to happen because it's who you are, or real, you know, serious issues that you have between you and the other competitors, or you know, just run-ins that you've had, and you can't create that. It has to happen naturally, and it could happen. You know, you could be the best of friends, and all it takes is one major incident on the track. But from the way that I know Jimmie and Matt and myself, Kevin, you know, I think that you know, we all, I think, are pretty level-headed and understand that, you know, we want it to be done on the racetrack, not off the racetrack.
Yeah, same goes, and I think there's nothing wrong with, you know, with a good, true rivalry on the track, as Jeff kind of helped separate the two lines of thought. There's nothing wrong with that. And I mean, last week I go to my family with me. It's the first trip that Lydia made, and Shani had been on the track in a long time. So we have to get on the bus on Saturday. We go up the road to a little shopping center, and my daughter Genevieve wants Play-Doh to play with in the bus. So as we go in there and we buy Play-Doh, she thinks that Kaylin, Matt's oldest daughter, and Kaylin and Grace both need some Play-Doh too. So we buy Play-Doh, go back to the motorhome lot, go to their door, knock on their door, and give them the Play-Doh for their kids. So, I mean, that's just, you know, there's two worlds is kind of what I'm getting at. And when we put our helmets on, I mean, we wish bad things upon one another. That does happen. It really does. But, you know, how we really treat that, and then certainly the friendships and the bonds that exist outside the car are different. And that's really a tough thing to learn how to separate as you're coming into the sport, because, man, you're buddies with a guy and your kids play and all that, and you get on the track and you're thinking the complete opposite. So, you know, it's just part of it.
Gentlemen, thanks for taking the time. Best of luck in Miami, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.